And hi everybody, and welcome back to another Fig review. Ooh, so I still have my stockpile, and I thought these would be cute to do together because they were both kind of just one-off figures that I bought. But then two, there's like a figure that is now, if I'm not mistaken, when I looked earlier, at over 10 years old, and then a figure that's probably just at a year old. Thought it'd be fun, do like idol from the past, idol from the now, I don't know, something kind of cute, whatever. But I have the Kanon Yui windmill figure. This was from, oh, it's SEGA, and they're both SEGA figures. Look at me doing research. And then we have the Liella Kanon SEGA figure. Both were prize figures. Both are the main characters from their different franchises. Both of them sing songs and are just cute girls. So it's just, I don't know, it'd be fun to open up. So I want to start with the older one because we need to get her out of this raggedy box. She's been in it for 10 years, so I think it's time to let her out. And really quick, I already pulled her out of the box. I almost forgot, but the outside of the box, pretty standard, honestly. Like, it's a box. There's stuff on the back, stuff on the side. We have the Hokago Tea Time logo on the top, and then nothing on the bottom. But once you take her out, she does have a clamshell of sorts. It just really protects her back, but not really anything on the front protection here except for the guitar. So now she does have some little wrappings on her hand and her guitar, which is taped. All right, but here is Yui out of the box. Now, honestly, I mean, I got this figure because I do really like the pose, especially for Yui. She's just so ridiculous. So this kind of pose is just good. It's just good. The figure is called Windmill, for crying out loud. Now, obviously, it's pretty simple. You know, nothing crazy for the outfit. It's just her school uniform with a white t-shirt with a print on it. Also, not to mention, for a prize figure, we don't see this kind of stuff anymore. It's not just black or white. It's got like a holographic effect and there's like little stars on it. We'll look more at it, but again, this is a somewhat unique base, which I still wish happened, you know what I mean? But we're gonna take a closer look at her and see what she's all about. First off, starting with her face, which, I mean, it's not the best in the world now. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like it does look a little bit dingy, which I can only assume is it was sitting for quite some time. So like the paint here on her cheek just looks a little bit off, but I feel like the actual cheeks just look almost like she's sick instead of just like a rosy cheek. Now, I don't know again if that's just because it's been sitting for a long time. Now, another thing I noticed here on the side, her hair's kind of lifted a bit. Now, once again, this figure's been obviously sitting for a very long time. I'm certain that a lot of that is where this damage is coming from. But, I mean, I still like the general expression that we have. I mean, it doesn't look like the most exciting, but she does look like she's just doing her gig on stage, you know? And I do like the actual decal that they had for the eyes. Kanon has those big, huge eyes, but they still have like the little lights and shines inside with like the light browns for her. They even still gave her too her little, you can see them peeking out underneath the hair, but her eyebrows have her little tiny extra lines because she's got like little tiny tufts at the ends of her eyebrows. So I do like that they kept that on there as well. Now, her hair, it's not the most exciting. Again, these are pretty thick strands of hair, nothing super detailed, but the actual movement itself is nice. It puts a lot of like movement into her body and how she's swinging and doing the windmill move. And I do think the coloring overall is still pretty good. There's still the highlighting on top and all the brown, just neutral brown all the way around the sides here. And again, I do just still even like just the natural flow of her hair and her short little bob. So I still, not bad. Still not bad. Not to mention, on her hair, she does have her little barrettes, her classic to Yui barrette. Now moving right along to her shirt, a plain white t-shirt with the Hokago Tea Time logo on the front nice, simple decal. It's clean, doesn't look crazy. I do believe I caught some shading on it as well, so it's not a flat white. They did actually paint this and put like some light blues in the corners here. And I think it's picking up a little bit. There's light blue here and here. Now I do think some of the white, after sitting for a little bit of time, has gotten a little bit clunky. It's been sitting for 10 years, so that's gonna happen, but still not bad. We have her arm, which I do think was one of the parts that did suffer the most from the sitting and the plastic sweat. You can see how much shinier her hand is here under certain lighting. Like it's pretty shiny there. So it's definitely she's been sweating. But she does have her little guitar pick in her hand, which is painted a different color. It is red instead of like usually they'll just do white and it'll look kind of funky. But I do like that it is like a bright red. And she did also have little pink nails too. Kind of chunky pink nails nonetheless. But I mean, they're still pink. Pink nails. Ooh. And when we go to her other arm, the one that is holding the neck of the guitar, same thing with the arm being maybe a little bit shiny depending on where it gets hit, and her fingernails still being painted, which is really lovely. I'm very excited that they did that. I'm excited by little things, what can I say? Now the guitar itself, honestly, every time you get a Kanon figure, it feels like this is a pretty standout part of the figure. Like the instruments are always done nicely. I mean, that actual glossy finish on the body of the guitar looks great. The different actual coloring and paint is all relatively clean, especially for it being, again, a prize figure. We've got all the little pieces up top there as well. Kanon, the instruments always look good. I feel like I don't really have many complaints about that. There's also the strap on the side. I think, again, you can see in certain parts where it did suffer a little bit from sitting for so long, but it does go all the way around the back. And then we have her skirt peeking out on the back, but this doesn't look like it's really shaded very intensely. In fact, they probably went a little bit flat with this, if I'm gonna be honest. The pleating is fine, but it's just a basic skirt. So I do like, though, more interestingly, you can see more details on the actual guitar itself with like where the aux plug in and like whatever that is, and then over here there's a little bit more detail too, so that's pretty cool. Now she has her classic black tights. Now these are, again, pretty flat, nothing super crazy. I mean, they're not shaded or anything special. They don't really give a black mesh stocking illusion. They just look black, and it's kind of flat. So her shoebies, ooh, she does have her name written on her shoes, which I love that they kept and put that on there instead of just copping out and leaving them blank like I feel like a lot of figures probably would usually do. So I do love that, and I love their school shoes anyways. I love the little white with the little blues on the end. So now the paint isn't the most fantastic in the world on these. Now I don't know if this is where it was worn out over time, maybe because it was like white over the black, so the black started seeping through a little bit, but that does look like it got brushed up against something. She also has texture on the bottom of her shoes, which looks a little bit funky, but like, hey, it's there, so that's cool, I guess, right? Right. Now, what I'm most excited about, especially for a prize figure, she does have a cool looking base. It's pretty cool. I mean, especially for a prize figure, you don't often see where they have these interesting bases. And I mean, this is a pretty dark base, but I feel like, honestly, instead of just doing black bases all the time, I wish there would still be, you know, cool bases like this. I mean, this is fun. All the little rainbow lights that it hits, it's really cool. And there's the little stars on it. Now, the only bad thing is if you notice up here, there's a lot of texture. I think, again, from it sitting for just so long. It does wipe away. You can see where I've wiped most of it away. You can still kind of see it in certain lighting. Like, it looks like it cracked almost. Probably because of the paint that's on it. But if I just go over it, ta-da! It's mostly gone. Again, you can still definitely see where it was and like some of the stuff that I wiped away, but I think it's not world ending. Where I was a little bit worried once I started seeing those. I thought that they were cracks in the paint and they wouldn't go away. Again, it's kind of old, so that's gonna happen. But that is Yui. Honestly, pretty good for a 10-year-old figure. And I am, you know, if this came out nowadays, I'd be really excited about something like this freaking rainbow base. Now, moving right along, we have the Liella figure. Really quick just so you can still see the outside of the box. Boom, we have the front, the side, the back, the other side, the bottom. Ooh, I like they have all the girls on there. And the top. Honestly, the sides are just kind of whatever. They're just pictures of the figure from different angles. The bottom's cute though. I kind of wish that was on the top. I feel like that's a little bit more exciting to see. All right, well, she's out of the box. Once again, she also just had a basic cardboard box, so nothing inside. But here is her clamshell packaging. A little bit unorthodox, but hey, it's prize figure packaging. You know, gotta do what you gotta do, right? But her base, I mean, you probably already saw it, but it's pretty cute. It's just got the headphones on the bottom. I mean, it's not nearly as shiny as the Yui, but this is pretty good for prize figure bases. Here she is. Now we're gonna attach Kanon to her base. Pretty easy. There's a little like keyhole shape for her, and it just matches. So, all right, and there is Miss Kanon out of the box. These outfits are really cute, so I was just excited to get it. I mean, a lot of Liella's outfits I think are really cute because they do a lot of bright colors. Her pose is really cute. I mean, it's just a nice standard idol pose. One leg up, one leg down, one arm up. But we'll take a look at her, kind of see some stuff up close. So, to start us off, we have her face. Really cute, honestly. I mean, it's not a bad face at all. I love the way her purple eyes look, and I like that there's like just a little bit of like kind of pinky, like kind of orange pink that they have in her eyes, like for the highlights. The actual highlight like on her cheeks with the blushing, pretty simple, honestly. I wish there was actually blushing to her face instead of just the two mark lines, because I do think her face falls pretty flat, as even for a prize figure. Like, her skin has no shading at all to it. Her mouth as well, at least they did put the teeth in there, but I do think that the tongue itself is kind of like a little bit awkward depending on what angle you get it at. But the actual expression is still really cute, especially from this angle in particular. I do think that when you start to turn it around, she looks kind of like she's scared for her life to be performing, so it is not really an all angles figure. The hair, while overall I think the color is pretty flat, I once again really like the movement of this. I think that the actual strands of hair really show the flow of this figure. The color is basically non-existent. It is just the one orange, so there is no shading on this figure at all, you guys. And some of the ends of the strands of the hair, while I do like the flow of the hair strands, the actual pieces are really chunky and like kind of scrappy looking. So she has this really tiny little barrette in her hair. I think it's just funny how small it is, but it's so cute. She got the cute collar with the little marks on the top. Again, the paint on this one's pretty scruffy, guys. This is not a good paint figure. I would, not even some of the sculpting is very great, so not one of my best prize figures. There's also the armband on her arm. It's a printed off, I think, a little bit. You can see where the indent of the sculpt and the paint is off here. Her arms are also pretty shiny, especially considering that this is not a 10-year-old figure. The shine is not as bad as like her hair is, as you can see, but it can still kind of hit depending on what light you get it in. So, and also look at this. Her fingernails aren't even painted. They are sculpted, but come on, not even painted. I'll be honest, this is the recent of the two figures. While there are things that I like just color-wise for this and like design-wise, some of the quality itself is not hitting, especially compared to the older figure, so. Now, the dress itself, obviously super cute. I do think it is odd. They almost made it look like her dress doesn't really fit her on the top with the way it was sculpted. Like, it almost looks too big. Maybe, like, I think here it looks fine, but, like, once you get over here, it just looks like it's her bigger sister's outfit that she put on. She has her little flower fluffy belt going all the way around, pretty plain and simple, but there's a little bow in the back. I do like that there is that gradient going from the white to the blue. It's a kind of soft gradient there, but nothing super egregiously painted, so that's not the worst. Her skirt, which does have 3 different tones of blue, I really appreciate that they at least put those 3 tones. Maybe I would have personally liked something to go a little bit like deeper, where there would be a lot more contrast between the 3, but not bad. Definitely no shading on it though. And then there is the white ruffly skirt down at the bottom, which has lots of little ruffles. I do like the way the skirt looked. The skirt's actually bringing some of the figure back up for me, because I just like the way it looks and the way it kind of floofs it up a bit. So her very shiny legs. There's a lot of shine coming off of these legs here. I mean, they're glistening and not in a good way. So, and she has a little garter, a blue garter with the orange bow. Once again, nothing super spectacular there. It's pretty flat orange. Her cute shoes and her cute little socks. I love the shoes that they have for Liella. They're usually like sneakers, but good for those girls getting to wear sneakers on stage. I mean, she's got a cute little star on the front of her shoes, and then she has her rainbow socks too, which I just love, adding a little bit of extra color on there. And her orange freaking shoelaces. How cute is that? Again, paint, not great. Sculpt, just okay. So, I mean, it's kind of crazy, but especially considering that Yui is 10 years old and Kanon's only 1 year old, it definitely feels like the quality is going down over time for the 2 of these girls, which, wild, absolutely wild. Now, we do still need to get our coin spin. We have to pay up. Got Daniel's here. Good wares. You gonna let us open up the spinny spin? Everyone thank good Daniel for coming and taking our coin. He has already evacuated the area. He got his pay and now he's gone. What will we get today? Uh-oh. Oh no, we might have a jam. Oh no, we got a pretty good jam. I have some stuff in there that probably shouldn't be in there. Some stuff. I mean, like a lot of stuff. Big numbers, big numbers, big numbers. Oh, Anya. She's not giving me good luck. Oh, finally. Erza came to give us good luck. We have a single bead. All that spinning just for a little tiny bead. But sometimes it feels like your work's gonna just keep going and it's never gonna stop. But at the end of the day, you know, even if it's small, seeing the payout is still always worth the reward. So, a single bead. Now that we've gotten our dumb wisdom, we are at least allowed now to dumb our brains down to a ultra level and see the bottom of these girls, which this we knew wasn't going to be anything exciting. And this, she wears black stockings, so what did we really expect? You know, that's just life, guys. All right, but this is gonna put us at the end of the video, guys. Now, these might be 2 prize figures, but honestly, they're still not the worst that I've seen or had in my possession. I still really like a lot of things. Like I mentioned, the expression and poses for both of these is really good. Honestly, too, the fact that Yui is 10 years old and she's still holding up the way she's holding up is really honestly impressive. Again, really interesting kind of seeing these 2 figures next to each other, same company, 10 years apart, different franchises, but still nonetheless. Now, if you want to see more pictures of these girls, I will probably put them on my Instagram, because why not? We might take some time to get them both out, but I mean, hey, they're still nice figures, so I'll post them. And I have many other figures posted on my Instagram as well that you can check out too. Not to mention all these other cool videos that I have that I post weekly. You know, the holidays are coming up, so maybe I will be posting once we get closer to the actual day of like some of the bigger holidays, but I will attempt to post something, so we'll see what happens, right? There is also my personal account if you want to just follow my cosplay and art, and then as well my Patreon if you like what I do and you want to support me. I do post the full unedited videos there before I post them to YouTube. This was just kind of a more fun video, less stress than some of the Nendoroids and pop-ups I have sitting in a pile, so I might do a live stream with those, because some of them there's already a million videos out there, so why am I gonna post a new video for when I could just have fun posing them with you guys? So that's something you're interested in, of course, let me know. But anyways, I hope you had a great last week, and I hope you have a great rest of your next week. And I will see you guys all later. Bye.